I'm Liz Fisher, and welcome to Sacto Active Rock, the show that showcases local up-and-coming bands. My musical guest tonight is It's Not What You Think, and they'll be joining me in the studio shortly. But first, I'd like to welcome a very special guest, someone all of you rock and roll fans in Sacramento have probably seen at one point or another. Please welcome Sacramento Betty. Betty, thank you for being here tonight. It's a privilege. And you know, Betty, I've seen you at a lot of concerts, and you're usually sitting up on your boyfriend's shoulders blocking my view. So obviously you think you're a pretty big music fan. So tell me, what are some of your favorite songs? Don't be shy, you can speak up. Okay, you don't know the titles of any songs. You just listen to the radio and it's just all sort of background noise, is that right? So you don't buy any discs or albums, cassettes, nothing like that. So when you spend all this money to go on a show, you don't have any clue as to what's going on, do you? What's that? She just goes to shows because she thinks the band members are cute. That's all that matters is their appearance? Well, you're certainly interesting. Well, you don't like any kind of punk rock then, or alternative, or grunge, or... No, I didn't think so. If they don't wear hairspray, you don't like them. Okay? You know, sometimes people like you, Betty, I wonder what's inside your head. You know, because a lot of times I feel just like going, knock, knock, anybody home? Because I don't think there is. But I just happen to have my handy-dandy knife here, and let's take a look inside. What's inside Betty's skull? My guess is it's plenty of air, so let's just take a look. Let's see. It's pretty easy. You'd think her skull was thick, but apparently I'm getting in here pretty easy. There's nothing but air in here. No, wait, I see her brain, a Betty brain, and it's cotton, fluffy cotton little brain. And look, we've got a glamour magazine, How to Make Your Boyfriend Happy, How to Be His Slave. Well, that's good. And this pretty much surmises your whole mentality. Here's her mentality. It's a cassette single by a pop metal band. It's a power ballad. Boy, that is exciting. You know, Betty, I think you need to listen to some cooler things. So I've got some tapes here. We've got like Sonic Youth. We got, let's see, Jane's Addiction. We got Pixies. We got all this cool stuff that's gonna, I think, make you a little bit more intelligent. And also, I've got a band in the studio here that I think you're really gonna enjoy. So why don't we give them a welcome? Please welcome It's Not What You Think. Oh, hey.
Betty.
Betty is going to sit down on the floor at my feet where she belongs.
For Skip's paper.
Yeah. Okay, well, Betty says hi. Well, I'd like to know one thing is, how long have you guys been together?
Been together about 3 years. Started in like December of, I think, '87. It's Christmas vacation kind of deal. School was out. I said, I'm going to start a band.
And John, you're the drummer. You've just recently joined, and
yeah, I just recently joined about a year ago. Oh man, I've been with them since that long. So it's almost a year, yeah.
And Chris over there has also been there with a couple of years.
A year and a half or so.
Year and a half or so. Great. Who writes all the music? Is that basically a group effort, or?
Pretty much Peter, yeah, I think.
I write about 99.9% of the music. We go off into jams, though.
I write the wrong notes. I write all the mistakes.
Yeah.
Chris has the beauty, you know.
Yeah, I think as he starts out right too, it definitely evolves through all of us and changes all the time.
And I write everything he hates too.
Is it true, Peter, that you got lessons from Steve Vai?
Joe Satriani, actually.
Joe Satriani.
Steve Vai's teacher.
Same thing.
Satriani.
Same guy.
And how long did you take lessons with him?
It was very brief. It was about 10 years ago. He was, nobody had heard of him. He was in a band called The Squares in Berkeley, and he taught at second-hand guitar in Berkeley. And, I didn't know his last name. He was just Joe, the guitar teacher. Interesting guy. He's kind of temperamental.
Oh, is he?
A very interesting personality.
I know that you guys have been playing protest march lately.
And we've been praying at protest marches too.
Marches.
Praying that the war will be over soon.
The band that prays together stays together.
So
take it from MC Hammer.
You basically feel that maybe your music band can make a statement, and people in Sacramento.
Yeah, we just played at the state capitol a little while ago. It was to protest U.S. involvement in the Mideast. Basically, I think it's a pretty simple issue. I think war is wrong. I don't think there's too many different ways to look at it. I think if there's any way war can be avoided, then we got to do it. There was a lot of people there that agreed with us.
Yeah, it was definitely, I think we have a really good thing going as far as the political scene. I think we're pretty happening here. and we're definitely willing to do a lot more political shows. It's a really good cause, and I think to get most of the people that listen to our kind of music, young crowd, I think they need to be aware, and a lot of people aren't aware, and I think through listening to us, they might get into the whole scene, and know what's really going on, because there's a lot of stuff that's just really awful,
What do you think of the music scene in Sacramento? Do you think there is one? Do you think it has potential to be one? Or
Well, there are lots of interesting bands around scraping the bottom of the music scene, like my other band, the Horny Mormons.
Plug.
I gotta plug my other band.
Okay, while we're at it, you plug your other bands.
Oh yeah, Scott Free is another band I play in too, and
We freelance. We like to play all kinds of bands, and my other band, I played drums for early times. We play rock and roll, jazz, all different kinds of things. Now, to your question, I think the Sacramento music scene is, well, it's there. It's kind of medium-sized to small.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm from Berkeley, and it's just huge there. San Francisco, there's just like bands in every garage, just about. And here in Sacramento, there's a lot less competition. There's some. It makes it really good for flyering. I mean, you go out and put your flyers up, and they're still there weeks later.
Yeah.
Makes that real easy. It's a cool place to play. It's a cool place to be. I like it and I don't.
Yeah. It's also the fact, I think, that this town is it's a big farm town still. Another 5 years from now, you're gonna look at
still
it.
known as a cow town.
Yeah, another 5 years from now, I think you're gonna look at this town and it's gonna be pretty happening place maybe, but it's gonna take the time. I feel kind of lucky that as this band evolves in this town, we get a chance to grow with it.
Well, plus the pizza isn't as good in Sacramento, so like
hey, that's
there
true.
can't be bands without pizza.
I'd like to say Liz gave us a pizza right before this.
I make them
video
happy
game,
by
so
feeding them.
Definitely.
Well, anyways,
Thanks.
so now your music is pretty progressive, and sometimes it can even be a little disturbing in its scope. If somebody is maybe a little lowbrow and doesn't understand that kind of music, what's your reaction when people think that maybe it's like, whoa, this is too intense? Like at the protest march, I know there were some hippies there, and they're like, heard you playing, they're like, whoa, what's this? What do you feel like when people might think that your music's so intense that they can't deal with it?
It's just one of those things. Some people will like it and some won't. I mean, it's yes, it is harsh. It's loud and obnoxious, and sometimes it's real quiet and beautiful. It goes through all different kinds of moods. I think no matter who you are, what your age is, what your beliefs are, I think you should check it out. Listen to it for more than 10 minutes. You're bound to hear something you like eventually, because it's really not what you think. You'll hear a little bit and you won't like it.
No pun intended.
But then in a while, all of a sudden you'll find that it's cool and wow, it's changed. I mean, sometimes we go through jazz stuff, sometimes we go through fusion, rock and roll, punk rock, funk, you name it, pretty much.
That's one of the main things that turned me on to this band too. In the beginning when I heard this, I mean, for a musician standpoint, it gets old just to be playing that old rock and roll, it just really gets old. And to see a band that's as diverse as I am and as all of us are in the different styles of music, it was really a challenge, and it was a really neat thing to get into a band like that.
I don't want to wait any longer. Let's see you guys in action. Let's see this music. We've been talking about it. Let's see It's Not What You Think. So,
all right.
Let's take it away. Why don't you guys get up and go over to your instruments, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the band's getting up, and they're going to go over to their instruments. And so please welcome It's Not What You Think.
kind of put now, but you kind of I don't need to get around song like this, but this man's really put my really get up in a review. Hey, I'm gonna bring this up, you put me in the ball, I was sitting on it. Take me down this kind of thing, gonna make a mile, and there's gonna be a lot of people that there's when you find sometimes everybody loves it in the dirt, it's weird when you go, everybody's figuring out everything, everyone finds the new, and the beautiful again is I don't know, never come. I don't need to be protected from myself. I have love and warmth, and yes, I have my help. I don't need the intervention in my life. The dawn is coming, but it's gonna be a hell of a night. Tell me that I cannot smoke marijuana, and I can't drink until I turn 21, and I can't do it till my girlfriend turns 16. But if they don't put me to death, they want to make me into a killing machine. Go on living my life as I please.
welcome back, and that's all the time we have tonight for Sacto Active Rocks, but I definitely would like to thank my guest. It's Not What You Think. That was a very invigorating experience, guys.
Well, thank you, Liz, and I think you're a very invigorating experience yourself.
So what does the future hold for It's Not What You Think?
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit.
We might...
I want to be a cow.
Now, for you watching community cable, I don't know when this is going to air, but we should probably be playing with Fungo Mungo at the Cattle Club at the end of January, like at the last Saturday in January.
Okay, so watch your newspaper listings for It's Not What You Think.
Check us out. We will be playing.
So, and that's all the time I have. Thank you for joining me on Sacto Active Rock. I'm Liz Fisher. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.